Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about the 14th Amendment, acclaim, and reading. Yesterday, I put out that video talking about the 14th Amendment, and there were people who didn't like that interpretation. So, we'll delve a little deeper into the subject today. If you missed it, Trump said he wants to end birthright citizenship. And I pointed out that it's part of the 14th Amendment, and he would need a constitutional amendment to change it. Here's a message. You're wrong about the 14th Amendment. They don't just have to be born here. They have to be subject to jurisdiction thereof. That's the problem. They aren't. You need to read a little bit more before spouting off about an amendment that has never even been tested at the Supreme Court. Read a little more. That's funny. The people who wrote the Constitution and the amendments to it thought long and hard about what they were saying. And in most cases, they're very clear and even leave context clues to those who actually read it. So instead of reading it like a lot of people read the Bible by just picking out the parts they like, maybe read the whole 14th Amendment. The first part of Section 1 of the 14th Amendment you're pointing to is unique. It says, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Subject to the jurisdiction thereof. It's a mystery what that means. Maybe, if we think really hard, we can think of a demographic of people who are born in the U.S. but not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Maybe they're part of another nation, even though they're born on soil the U.S. owns. That sounds a whole lot like natives, right? If only there was some clue that's what they meant. Section 2 of the 14th Amendment says, quote, representatives shall be apportioned among several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. Indians not taxed. Remember that term. That would indicate that they're born in the U.S., but not subject to the jurisdiction thereof, right? That's not really conclusive, though, is it? That's just cope on my part. I should read more. Did you know that the 14th Amendment was added to enshrine what was put into legislation through the Civil Rights Act of 1866? It was. It's actually mentioned in one of the videos I linked. I'm going to read a bit of the Civil Rights Act of 1866 now, and it's going to sound familiar. Quote, all persons born in the United States and not subject to any foreign power, excluding Indians not taxed, are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States. Isn't that cool? The same Congress, shortly afterwards, evidently thinking it unwise and perhaps unsafe to leave so important a declaration of rights to depend upon an ordinary act of legislation, which might be repealed by any subsequent Congress, framed the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, and on June 16, 1866, by joint resolution, proposed to the legislatures of the several states, and on July 28, 1868, the Secretary of State issued a proclamation showing it to have been ratified by the legislatures of the requisite number of states. The first section of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution begins with the words, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside, as appears upon the face of the amendment, as well as from the history of the times. This was not intended to impose any new restrictions upon citizenship, or to prevent any persons from becoming citizens by the fact of birth within the United States, who would thereby have become citizens according to the law existing before its adoption. Oh wait, I forgot to say, everything after the word cool is from the Supreme Court ruling on the case of United States versus Wong Kim Ark. Yes, it has been tested at the Supreme Court, and we got the ruling in 1898. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.